she was drawing on the computer, and while drawing on her app, she was using her pen display, to be more precise. She had went upstairs to do some chores. I guess the PC went to sleep, and once it went to sleep, it then woke back up again. So she told me that, and I went to the computer and I tried to wake it up. The monitor wasn't turning on. Since the monitor wasn't turning on, I reset the computer a couple of times, and it was the same issue. The monitor wasn't catching no display signal. So when I looked close on the motherboard LED light right here was actually the VGA light was on right here. So I knew at that point there's a problem. So the first thing I did was I removed the GPU from the PCIe lane. I didn't take out the RAM sticks to troubleshoot. There's some forums online where they tell you to reseat the GPU, see if that worked. It's right here, in fact. It's right here. It's the GPU. I don't see no damage to the rails, so I would just try to see if I could clean them off just in case with some alcohol pads, and see if it helps at all. This motherboard is the Gigabyte Aero X570S. I do have a couple of complaints with this board. Later I found out in terms of the memory sticks, one stick, which would be the third one, and the motherboard has an issue. There are some forums about it, which I didn't know about, where the LEDs are not being picked up from the software IQ. This seems like it's been an ongoing issue with Gigabyte. In case you guys are new to the channel, this is my daughter's PC. I'll give you the specs right now. X570 Aero G. We have about 3 M.2s inside, 2 terabytes and 1 500 gigabyte, 64 gigs of RAM. What else I had? This is a 2 terabyte WD Black Western Digital. Western Digital Black. This was changed out from the original Complex to LCD. This is a Corsair. Oh, you can't see the top. This right here is a Corsair AIO with Lian-li fans mounted inside. Behind here is a SSD 2 terabytes Samsung. But yeah, that's everything in a nutshell. Oh, and power supply, in case y'all wondering, you guys can't see it at this point. Power supply, you're looking at the new Shift by Corsair, and then there's one HDD 2 terabyte as well. So she has an ample enough storage on this PC to last her for a while, depending on what she does. She loves to draw, so she aiming for animations, so this should help her. Go sit down right there. So be quiet. So yeah, so this should help her with her creativity side and so forth. With the Intel, in case anyone was wondering, I went with the Intel just because she's not really a heavy gamer, right? So it made sense for me to give her the Intel graphics card now. Lian-li Lancool 3. I will be doing a case review for this case very soon, but overall this case has been great to build in. Ample enough space from left to right. I actually have fun building this case. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take as you can see, I have a little Q-tip here. I would dab it in some alcohol and just clean the rails just in case. Let's see if that helps out. I mean, this build is still in progress, to be honest. There's a few things I want to do to improve on certain things, so I will be doing more in this case later on, or in this build I should say later on. Alright, so I got the rails cleaned up, so I'm about to reseat this thing now and see if it makes any difference. I can't explain why it happened. It looked like it just happened after it went to sleep and it didn't wake back up from its slumber. Alright, it's in. Make sure it's snugged. I'm not going to screw it in as of yet. I'm just going to leave it there. Let me just do one screw just to keep it more sturdy. this graphics card. I don't have to plug in the RGB, but I'm just plugging it anyway. Alright, so it's in. Let's see how it behaves. Flip the switch. Let's change let's move over. You see that it's on. Let's move over to the screen. Alright. Any louder? You've been eating people's ears. Kids. Alright, so let's do this. What's the difference? Okay, so I still see the LED light on. You guys can see that. Where is it? Is it still on? There it is. LED light still on. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clear the CMOS. I'm going to clear the CMOS, see if that helps, guys. So hold on. Still no display. No. So LED box still on. So I'm going to clear it. So what I'm going to do now is clear the CMOS battery, take out that battery, give it a few, and see if that helps out. Try you block on the light. Get down. Yeah, you block on the light, bro. So I'm about to take out the battery from here and see if that helps out with the clearing CMOS. If we get any difference in terms of getting the display back and functional. So let me get this thing out. The battery's out, so I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes before I plug it back in to see, just have it drain all the saved data and everything out the motherboard to see what happens. I'm about to plug it in, but a couple of minutes, I'll put the battery back in and see how it behaves after I power back on. Let's plug it back in, switch. Let's see if the power's back on. Or if you guys heard me before, or if you're skipping the video, but this motherboard has some sort of issue with seeing the third slot of the memory, the RAM sticks. So I get this problem right here where the RGB is not syncing up with the rest of the RGBs. I don't know how well it comes up on the camera, but it doesn't show up well on the motherboard. So that is an ongoing problem with Gigabyte. Let me look up in the forums. I will link it below. Alright, so I'm about to power it on. Alright, so troubleshooting step 2. The first troubleshoot I did was the removal of the GPU, clean the rails, I reseated it, same issue. Next step, I clear the CMOS battery, see if that helps out. Turn on, see how it behaves. Power cycle looks like it. Power cycle. So let's see if it gets stuck. But it's still power cycling. This may take a couple minutes or a few seconds. Hopefully I get display. That's my first time encountering a problem like this, so I'm just going through the basics of troubleshooting certain components on the computer. So hopefully the CMOS removal of the battery helps out the display problem, VGA LED light problem. Is the GPU plugged in? No, I didn't plug in the GPU. I didn't plug in the display port. Give me 1 second. I forgot to do that. Just plugged it in. neutral. Okay, so I plugged in the display port and there is no display. I'm going to try the 3 others display ports on the GPU to see if there's any difference. I don't know if it's the cable that went bad, but I will find out once I transition the cable out. Let's see if I change it to a different port. I'm just able to plug it in. I don't see no difference. I plugged it in right here. No difference. Plug it in here. Still no difference. And plug it in here. Still nothing. So what we're going to do, we're going to change out this wire and see if this could be the problem. Alright, so I just connected the wire, the new wire. This hardly been used. It's a new wire I had laying around. If you guys are looking for a wire like this, I'll leave it in the description down below. Let's just plug into the slot and see if it makes any difference. Look like there's may be some sort of issue with the display ports. Alright, so there's been no difference. Okay, so what I just did, I disconnected the display port cable and inserted HDMI. So let's switch it to HDMI. Monitor. In case you guys wonder what monitor this is a G7 monitor for Samsung. So now I have to figure out why the display port is not working. Everything on this PC, inside this PC, is up to date in terms of drivers. For every component here is up to date. Software is up to date. The motherboard is also up to date with the latest BIOS update, which I have done on the channel. Well, on a video, but haven't been posted yet. But yeah, everything's up to date, and so I'm just going to see what is happening to the display ports or what is causing that to not be seen by the monitor. This is unusual. If you guys know what may be happening to me in terms of display port versus HDMI, let me know down in the comments down below. Yeah, what I know I'm going to have to do, since I did clear the CMOS, I'm going to have to go back into the BIOS and put back the settings I had back original. But I have display. I have area. Okay, so yeah. So now I don't know if you guys see that camera, but it's letting me know I have to go back into the BIOS and enable the resizable bar. Okay. So yeah, everything's being seen, everything's being picked up via software. All this says to come back. Well, this is come back, that's come back. This, I don't know why that's not changing. Let me see. Sometimes IQ does not pick up right away. I have to turn it on for it to pick up to make sure it works. There it is. So yeah. Yeah, and I do use Fahrenheit. Okay. So yeah. So let's see if I could figure out why the display port now is not being picked up by the monitor.